what are you doing?
I'm showing you a product that is aptly named. This makes a lot of sense what I decided to create. This product, I thought, well, what on earth do I call a concealer that's not a concealer that makes you look younger in an instant? Undue Time. Is that pretty powerful?
Yeah,
or what?
right. That's
it's
great.
It's a full coverage concealer that gives the maximum coverage you'd expect from a full coverage foundation in a concealer that, look on my hand alone. Can you see that, Elise? I've got blue veins running through my very fair skin. We were just talking about skin tone. So in my skin, you can see that blueness until I come in with Undue Time. This is in shade medium, which I'll put on Brooke. It's so full coverage that it knocks out everything, but you do not feel this going on. You do not look like you're wearing makeup, and that has got to be one of the things that I probably do not love the most about makeup is when you see it, when you feel it. So I created this concealer, which isn't really a concealer because it's so much more. I created this to create the look of just having naturally flawless under eye, around the nose, wherever you want fuller coverage.
Well, one of the things that I love about your brand so much is the simplicity of it all.
Thank you.
That really what you're doing is allowing women to highlight their already beautiful features.
That is what it's all about. I made a name for myself over this past decade, not because you see my makeup when you're wearing it. It's in fact the opposite. What did you say, Felicia, that I stand for looking like yourself?
Absolutely.
Better?
I love that your collection is perfectly curated. You've got the perfect pieces that every woman needs in her collection. It doesn't feel overdone, and it just feels very natural and seamless.
Definitely. This applicator is really interesting.
Isn't this cool?
Yeah, can you describe it a little bit?
Yep, it's the little foam tip. So you've seen, if you're as social media as obsessed as I am, you've seen that it is all the rage to work with the sponge applicator. But I recognize that sponge tips aren't always easy to grip and to grasp and to hold. I geniusly, if I do say so myself, thought to put a little handle on this sponge tip so you can actually pat it in and blend it. So what's nice here is it's dispensing just the right amount of product as I press this into the skin. So Felicia pointed out earlier with the foundation to press, and I really like that, especially when it comes to Undue Time, because you're just pressing it into the skin rather than wiping and smearing. That's what makes this applicator so different, and really it gives a more flawless finish.
Well, I'm going to concur on the genius statement.
Oh, thank you. That was me tooting my own horn.
Well, you are absolutely allowed to do that.
Okay, good.
Absolutely allowed. This is the place.
Yay.
We have a couple questions in the chat. Let's cover this for both the foundation and the concealer.
Pretty. Yes.
I'm wanting to know if this will work on dry skin, both of them. And I would say especially the foundation because it does look, more like a powder, but it is that creamy powder.
That's a great question. So let's take a close look at this. I want to show you how well suited. I would say I have very dry skin. I'm showing you on my hand, obviously, just for the sake of demonstration. But because I know what you're looking for when it comes to dry skin, you want something that has a built-in dewy flush, if you will, to it. Even when it comes to concealer, it needs that dewy glow. So yes, if you have dry skin like I do, you can expect an added layer of moisture and hydration built in to this formula. There's actually argan oil built into the formula, so if you do have drier skin, you'll really appreciate that.
We love that. Well, any place that we can use this other than under the eyes?
Yes, so lots of times I find that as I'm doing makeup, the biggest problem area is under the eye, but every now and then around the nose. If you find that you've got broken capillaries here, this is the kind of concealer coverage you don't just want, you need. This cancels out redness, cancels out any darkness or discoloration. Sometimes on deeper skin tones, my friends will say, how can I possibly cover or conceal the darkness I'm getting here around the pout area, around the nose? As I'm getting older, I want a little lift. Yes, use this anywhere and everywhere. Felicia, I know, has a lot to say about the brightening effect of this.
You read my mind. So one thing that I really love about this concealer is that you don't need a corrector underneath. Like it covers, it's bulletproof. It covers all dark circles, veins, tiredness. And I know that correctors are a huge trend now and they're fun to play around with. But the great thing about this concealer is that you get corrector and concealer in one.
That's
like
nice.
you get the coverage, and you were asking for other usage. So I like to take the tiny tip of the sponge, the very teeny tiny, and you can use it as like a brow highlight. You can go right under the brow bone and blend and just get a tiny bit of highlight there.
I'm sorry, is this Genius 2.0 right now?
I know. Why do you think we're friends?
I know, right?
Felicia, that is amazing.
Right?
So
Just get a tiny little bit of highlight there.
That's amazing. Would you do that down the bridge of the nose in Cupid's
Ooh,
bow?
I'm gonna do that.
You definitely can.
Ooh.
I actually did that earlier with the illuminator primer,
Smart.
but you can do it with the concealer as well. Just go right down the tip of the nose, and it kind of helps to kind of pop and slenderize there a little bit.
Nice.
Slenderizing.
Slenderize.
Why do you think we love Elise over here? Look what a quick study.
My nose just
Ah,
went.
girl.
Yes.
Nice.
Love
That was
it.
fantastic. It's also full coverage. I get a lot of questions about a concealer that will grab onto the tip of the nose. That mom, Nancy, this is for you. She says that no matter what formula she'd ever tried until now, that the tip of her nose was always red. This is the only concealer my mom has ever tried that totally cancels out the Rudolph look in wintertime. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
and it's interesting too. We have a lot of conversation in our chat right now about how dry our skin is right now in the winter, and it's exactly what I said to Felicia when I wanted. I said, "Oh, my skin is so dry right now." So it's nice to know that all of this foundation and this concealer is going to work on all skin types, which to me says it's a year-round
Yes.
makeup.
Very much, and that is my whole mantra. It's not about trend or season when it comes to the look of makeup or even the type or the feel. I'm not about throwing out your makeup when one season ends and a new one begins. I'm about giving you formulas, technologies, techniques, and tips that really last you 365 days a year.
Love it.
Yes.
Well, Brooke, you are looking pretty
Shall we
fab.
bronze her up towards our flush?
I think we should. I definitely think we should. By the way, you guys, if you want to pick up that concealer, it comes with the smoothing wand. So this crazy cool genius invention here from Edward, it comes with it. And then real quickly for ordering purposes, Edward, would we order the same shade in our concealer that we did in our foundation?
Yes, and if
Okay.
you're fair like me, go with shade light. That's all you need to know.
Gotcha. And we
Yep.
actually have a shade chart for you so you can see right here. Light, medium, tan, and deep are your shades. I'm in the medium.
Yes, Felicia's in shade deep.
Felicia, you're in deep.
I'm actually in tan for the concealer,
nice.
but deep for the foundation.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. And Brooke is in
Brooke
medium?
is in shade medium. I would be shade light. So, yep, that's
Perfect.
it's really
Okay.
easy. 4 shades all covered. So now that I've created that perfectly, flawless canvas, know that we're after the look of a love flush. That happens sometimes in winter. Sometimes if you can fight inertia and get up and exercise. For me, it's the greatest challenge. Or if you can find someone out there to fall in love with. But we're working towards that. Bronzer is one step closer.